I have a new sponsor. Hi everybody, it's Alexinus and today I've got something pretty big to announce. I have a new sponsor, but it won't affect this channel. It's actually only for my coaching, but it will actually help my channel to have more racket to review for you guys. So what is my new sponsor? I'm proud to announce that I'm now with Wilson. But like I've said, it's only for coaching purposes. So yes, it won't make any difference in my reviews, and to be honest with you guys, most of my review are planned ahead, and so most of my Wilson review were made before I was sponsored by Wilson, so you will always have my honest review about Wilson gear and every other brand. That's for sure, you have my words. But it also means that I need to change my Babolat Pure Strike 100 to find a Wilson racket that will suit my game. And so let's just switch side to present you all the racket that I have in this huge bag of demo to find out, which one could be the best fit for me. So let's go. So in order to choose the perfect racket for me, I have this incredible Wilson bag that they've sent me, and basically those are demos that I can keep with me to let you try if you're let's say a player of mine, or you're just seeing me on the court. And so yeah, let's open it to find out the racket that are inside. So let's go with the first one up here. Oh yeah, so first we have the two new RF series. So I have the regular one, so the 01, and I have the future one, which is the lighter version. So obviously I will try those one and review it for you guys. I'm gonna be honest, this one might be one of the best contender to be my next racket, that's for sure. I'm really hyped for this racket, so can't wait to try it. Two Pro Staff here, so the regular 97 and the 97L. I really like both of those rackets. This one is a bit too tough for me to play with, but this one I definitely enjoy it, and so that's for sure that I'm gonna let people try this racket a lot, and I'm gonna obviously try it on the court just to see if it's a racket that I could use or not for my next racket. I think that the biggest contender is here, so the regular Blade 98 16x19. I just really like this racket, and I think I'm gonna go with this racket, but let's see with the Pro Staff and the RF. But yeah, definitely that this racket is great. We have two Wilson shifts. So we have the regular here 99 300 gram, and we have the light version. This one's gonna be too light for me, but this one could be a great contender because it's just a great racket overall that puts a lot of power. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try it again to see if it could be my next racket. Here we have two powerful rackets, so the Ultra 100 and the Ultra 100L, two great rackets. I'm gonna try the 100 just to make sure, but I don't think that those rackets are gonna be contender. But yeah, let's see. On to the next part of the bag. So we have a tons of Wilson Clash. Here we go. So 4 of them. So we have the 108, which is obviously not a contender for me, but more for people, to try. We have the 100 UL. That's gonna be really important for me because obviously I train a lot of junior players, so I'm gonna let them try this racket a lot, that's for sure. Then we have the 100L. Same thing, just gonna let them try I'm gonna let my junior try this racket for sure. And finally we have the regular Clash, which is a US Open version. So yeah, pretty cool to have in my bag. So that's it for the bag. Now let's go on the court to try those rackets. So let's start this testing, and at the beginning I thought that maybe the RF 300 gram, the Blade or the Shift could be a good option for me. First, I've tried the RF. I was really surprised about the feeling of this racket. I felt like it was a good compromise between power, control, feel, spin. The only thing that I didn't like from this racket was the fact that the beam was a bit too big for me. I like smaller beam, but yeah, overall I felt like it was a great racket with not a lot of technology, so really connected to the ball, and so I really enjoyed that feeling. However, I felt like I was lacking of racket head speed when I was swinging. I felt like, you know, this racket was more for a grinder from the baseline that has a medium to slow racket head speed, and I was trying at that time to improve the speed of my racket. So yeah, it's a good option. Let's keep it in mind. Let's try some other racket to see if there's some racket that could be better, but definitely one of the good choice, that's for sure. Then I went straight to the Wilson Pro Staff 97. I remember trying this racket and feeling like it was too tough, but I just wanted to try this racket back again to see if it would, you know, change my perspective. And yeah, I really enjoyed this racket, but unfortunately the sweet spot is a bit too small for me. I feel like at the net it's just incredible for touch shots, for slice, for my backhand overall it's really good, but my forehand is not as strong as my backhand, so it was tough for me to see myself play with this racket. And you know, coaching would be okay, but playing would be really hard, and I want to find a racket that's gonna be good for coaching and good for playing at the same time. So yeah, it's a good option, a bit too heavy for me to swing, so I was like, okay, let's try the 97L. I played for a long time with the 97LS and the 97L, the tuxedo version, and I've always been a Wilson fan, and so I was like, you know, maybe the 97L could be a good option. And honestly, it was tough for me. It's still a great racket and I really enjoy it, and so I think, you know, between the RF and the Pro Staff 97L, it's gonna be pretty tight. So yeah, let's wait until the end to find, you know, my decision, but you know, those two rackets are really good. Then I moved to the Shift 99. I knew that this racket would be powerful, but I was like, yeah, you know, I need some power, so it might be a great option for me to switch to the Shift. And honestly, I really enjoyed my time with the Wilson Shift. It's a racket that I really like, but it lacks a bit of feeling for me. It's powerful, I like it, the amount of power is fine with me, but I don't feel like I could really see myself improving with the Shift. Not that it's a bad racket, but just the fact that I want to improve my racket head speed, like I said, and so I don't think that it's gonna happen with the Wilson Shift. So I would say that the Shift is behind the Pro Staff and the RF, but still a great racket, but I don't think it would be the perfect fit for me, especially because I like to come to the net and I would love to come to the net a bit more often. So no, that's not the option for me. Then I switched to the Wilson Clash, and let me be honest, like I said earlier, the Wilson Clash is not really an option for me, but just for the sake of trying the Wilson Clash, just to make sure, and I was quite happy with it. You know, it's a great racket, it hits pretty well, you know, but the flexibility is not something that I personally like. It's not something bad, you know, if you want to feel comfort, it's a great racket, but the flexibility that changed, it doesn't make it for me, but it's definitely a great racket to hit from time to time, and that's something that I will do for sure in the future. Then I went on with the Ultra just to make sure that my choice was right, and the Ultra was really fun. Actually, it's a racket that I really like from the baseline, but like I said, I want to transition a bit more to the net, and I like to do some drop shot and some slice, so I need a bit more feel, but definitely the Ultra was a great racket. And then I finished with the racket that I was, I think, more sure about, because, you know, I've played with the V8. I finished with the Wilson Blade 16x19. Was a great racket, definitely more control oriented. Felt like I wasn't getting that much power compared to the RF one, but definitely a great racket. Easy to grind from the baseline when you're really well placed. A little bit more forgiving compared to the Pro Staff. When you're at the net, it's still great, and I like the flexibility of the V9. For me, the V8 was a bit too much flexible. Now the V9 is just in the sweet spot, so definitely a great racket. Same thing at the serve, so I just like the fact that it's going fast through the air, and like I said, my goal was to get that feeling. So definitely a great racket. So we've done all those testing for one reason, to find out what racket is gonna replace my good Babolat Pure Strike 100. And so let's do my top 3 Wilson rackets. Starting at number 3, we have the Wilson Pro Staff 97L. I just like this racket, like I said. The only thing that didn't make me switch to this racket is the fact that the racket head size is a bit too small, but I just like the mix between the lightweight and the smaller head size. But I'm more of a guy that likes to put topspin with my forehand, and I don't feel like this racket will be able to provide me as much topspin as I want, but definitely a racket that I'm gonna use for fun from time to time. And now it's time to reveal the first racket, and then I'm gonna talk about the second one. And so my racket of choice is gonna be the Wilson Blade 16 by 19. It's not a surprise, but I really enjoyed, like I said, you know, the racket head speed. I just like the thin beam. I like the color of this racket. Overall, everything makes it, for me, you know, I'm already sold to, you know, the blade line, so obviously it's a racket that I like. And the only 2 reasons why I didn't make the switch to the RF one was, like I said, you know, the beam is a bit too big for me on this one, even though it's a great racket. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I've tried those 2 rackets, I was going more for the RF because I had a better pace, and I decided to play a game just for fun, to try. And that's where I lost all the control from this racket, and that's where I feel like the blade really stands out, is that when I need a bit more control, the blade is here and it's still providing a good amount of power. There's still only one thing that I need to figure out before I present my new racket in another video. Is gonna be which string I'm gonna use. Normally I was going for the Luxilon Alu Power, but I've tried the Alu Power Rough not long ago, and you're gonna see a review about it later, maybe next year. And I was really surprised. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna see between those 2 which one is gonna be the best option for me. So that's it for the video. Hope you have liked it. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.